Hello, Group B and C. This is just a voiceover of the PowerPoint we went over on Monday for those of you who want like a refresher or who were absent. We're going over counterclaims and claims. The goal is that by the end of the day, you have a thesis written for your essay that we're going to complete over the next 2 weeks. It's going to be an intro, body paragraph, counterclaim paragraph, and conclusion. Your final draft will be due on June 3rd. The prompt is, was the age of exploration a more negative or positive period in world history? You're going to choose one of those sides and create an essay argument around it. So a counterclaim, in the packet you have with you, there's a counterclaim section and there are missing words. The missing words are underlined. I would like you to underline those as we go. So whenever there's a claim, there must be a counterclaim. This is a claim that disagrees with your main argument. The reason you put counterclaims into essays is because it gives you the chance to respond to your readers' objections before they even finish reading. It also shows that you're a reasonable person who has considered all sides of the question you are trying to answer. Okay, so having part of your essay devoted to acknowledging and providing a counterclaim or proving a counterclaim wrong makes your essay much stronger. So here's an example. My claim would be, the most influential strategy used by the early Islamic Empire for expansion was warfare. My counterclaim would be, warfare was important, but the most influential strategy used by the early Islamic Empire was actually their tolerant treatment of conquered people. Okay, so it's basically a claim that disagrees with your original claim. Please feel free to practice some of this in your packet. So if I were going to do the second one, the best Disney movie is The Little Mermaid because of the music. A possible counterclaim could be, The Little Mermaid is good, but the best Disney movie is actually The Lion King because of the moral message. So that would be a counterclaim, right? Something in direct opposition to your claim. So next to where it says claim 1, I would like you to write an original claim. So this is using the following sentence frame. The age of exploration was a more, and then you select positive or negative, time period in history, because, and you need to give one reason. You can pause the video while you complete this part. Now I want you to come up with a counterclaim. This would be the exact same sentence frame, except for the opposite of what you put. So if you put that you thought it was positive, your counterclaim would be, the age of exploration was a more negative time period in history because, and you would give a reason as to why someone would argue that it was more negative than positive. You can pause while you complete that. And lastly, you need to write a thesis. So the way we're going to write a thesis today is you are combining your counterclaim and your claim. So, for example, if my claim was the most influential strategy used by the early Islamic Empire for expansion was warfare, and my counterclaim says the most influential strategy was actually tolerant treatment of conquered people, then I would combine these two things in this way. Although tolerant treatment of conquered people was important for the expansion of the early Islamic Empire, the most influential strategy they used for warfare was warfare because it is what allowed them to initially gain and control large amounts of land. So I have although, which is already written in your packet. Although discussing my counterclaim, so for example, although the age of exploration led to an increase in trade, it was overall a negative time period in history because, and then I would talk about a negative period. Or, although the age and exploration led to a lot of death, it was overall a positive time period in history because. Okay, so you're combining your counterclaim and your claim. That's really all we did this first day. Okay, so making sure we have really solid thesis statements.